Buon pomeriggio e benvenuti alla cerimonia di premiazione della terza edizione del Festival Visioni Urbane Beyond the Ideal City. Io sono Luisa Bravo, la curatrice del festival e con molto piacere oggi presentiamo i vincitori nelle 3 categorie di concorso di questa terza edizione del festival. Abbiamo, come sapete, 65 film in concorso che sono disponibili sulla nostra piattaforma streaming visioniurbane.stream. Lo streaming si chiuderà alla mezzanotte del 4 di dicembre, quindi è ancora possibile vedere i film in concorso ed è possibile votare per il vostro film preferito. Il film più votato riceverà il premio del pubblico che sarà annunciato in una breve cerimonia online il 6 di dicembre. Come sapete, i film vincitori sono selezionati da un team curatoriale e sono valutati da una giuria internazionale. Abbiamo 3 giurie per le 3 categorie di concorso. Quindi mi fa piacere oggi avere con noi uno dei giurati che è stato giurato anche nella nostra seconda edizione del festival l'anno scorso, Jacek Ludwig Skarsow da London Metropolitan University.
Salve, ciao, ciao Luisa, quindi grazie mille di avermi rinvitato per questa edizione del festival. Dico, per chi vedesse nel background mio questo un background un po' particolare, perché adesso sto parlando da Londra, da Piccadilly, però speravo di tornare nello studio prima, invece no, sono rimasto bloccato nel traffico, quindi adesso ho fermato la macchina, adesso sto parlando da qui, quindi vedrete un po' di gente che cammina dietro. E comunque sì, questo...
ti sei immerso in una visione urbana.
Esatto, una visione urbana tutta sua, esatto. E Luisa, diciamo, la cosa che assolutamente voglio condividere come giurato di questo festival è veramente questa varietà incredibile di prospettive da tutto il mondo verso queste tematiche molto complesse. Quindi la cosa che veramente emerge dalla selezione è proprio non soltanto queste realtà così diverse, però anche così simili. C'è questa particolarità, una sorta di paradosso con questo festival, dove da una parte vediamo queste realtà da tutto il mondo, chiaramente con circostanze molto molto diverse tra loro, però allo stesso tempo c'è una umanità di fondo che veramente diventa molto diciamo proprio questa idea di una certa un'esperienza condivisa di queste problematiche di cui si occupa il festival. E nel caso mio, appunto, ho avuto il piacere di far parte della giuria per le comunità resilienti, resilient communities, però allo stesso tempo chiaramente è stato anche un piacere poter semplicemente vedere i film nelle altre selezioni, e appunto un'esperienza veramente che continua ad essere, anzi ogni anno diventa sempre più interessante, appunto in questa incredibile varietà di prospettive.
Grazie Jacek. Sì, è importante avere anche, come dicevi, dal punto di vista della giuria, prospettive diverse, perché
certo,
anche se il nostro è un festival che si occupa di urbanistica, si direbbe, no? Dal titolo, in realtà è multidisciplinare e abbraccia diversi saperi attraverso una contaminazione trasversale. Infatti Jacek non è un architetto, ma è un artista appunto. Vuoi dire qualcosa sul tuo profilo?
Sì, sì, grazie. Sì, quindi io diciamo che il background mio artistico viene dalla performance e poi si espande nelle arti interdisciplinari, nelle arti visive e a Londra dirigo un master che si chiama il Master di Arte Pubblica e Performativa, Public Art and Performance. E tramite e insieme poi a co-dirigere il centro di ricerca che si chiama Creature e che sta per Creative Arts, Cultures and Engagement, dove tutte e due queste realtà, sia del master sia di questo centro di ricerca, sono proprio sulla interdisciplinarità dei linguaggi creativi, specialmente rispetto al discorso sociale, al discorso anche appunto di cosa intendiamo per esempio per città come Londra per esempio sono piene di contraddizioni. Adesso in questo momento sono a Piccadilly, che chiaramente ha una sua dimensione molto particolare, però chiaramente Londra, come tutte le metropoli grandi, è una città di contrasti, dove insieme alle cose molto sceniche ci sono anche realtà molto nascoste e molto difficili molto spesso. Quindi ci interessa molto questo discorso e in tutti e due questi ambienti, nella nostra università, London Metropolitan University, siamo una università particolarmente globale a livello di studenti, a livello di accademici e appunto questa internazionalità diventa molto importante, per cui insieme poi stiamo creando appunto diverse collaborazioni e chiaramente tra cui appunto con questo festival, con City Space Architecture e con il Museo dello Spazio Pubblico a Bologna pure, quindi siamo veramente molto contenti di aver trovato queste sinergie internazionalmente.
Bene, grazie Jacek, anche per rappresentare, diciamo, la giuria che è composta da più membri, ma che dato la domenica pomeriggio purtroppo non sono stati disponibili,
certo.
o anche perché per differenza di fuso orario, visto che abbiamo giurati anche da Sud America e dall'Australia, insomma, e dalla Nuova Zelanda, insomma, non è stato possibile, diciamo, avere una partecipazione più ampia dei giurati. Allora, questa cerimonia di premiazione è in inglese, visto che appunto abbiamo poi la partecipazione anche di alcuni dei registi e degli autori dei film in concorso. Quindi direi che chiudiamo qui la prima parte in italiano e adesso iniziamo la cerimonia in inglese. Good afternoon, good evening and good morning. Welcome to this award ceremony of the third edition of the Film Festival Urban Visions Beyond the Ideal City, promoted by City Space Architecture and part of A Place, linking places through networked artistic practices, co-founded by the Creative Europe program of the European Union. I'm here today with one member from the jury, Jacek Ludwig Scarso from London Metropolitan University. Welcome, Jacek.
Thank you, Louisa. Yeah, sorry.
Go on, please.
I'll go. Yes, it's. I was saying before in Italian that it's been a huge pleasure to be a part again for the second year in a row. I've been delighted to be part of the jury for this festival. And I was saying before that there's something very particularly special about this festival, because it does really bring together these incredible perspectives from across the world. I also was mentioning, by the way, if you see this unusual background behind me, it's because I was slightly stuck in traffic today, and I just stopped my car to be able to do this. And I'm currently talking from Piccadilly, and we were just saying that there's another interesting urban dimension behind me. But like London, where I am, I work a lot between London and also in Italy, but I'm particularly based at London Metropolitan University, where we have two different forms of collaborations with City Space Architecture, with this festival, and also with the Museum of Public Space. And the two entities are the Center for Research in Creative Arts, Cultures and Engagement that I co-direct, which is then more simply called Creature, and at the same time our Masters in Public Art and Performative Practices here at London Metropolitan University, and through these we started to have these really interesting conversations and dialogues that then have led to different collaborations, including this particular being a part of the jury for this festival. And as I was saying before, one of the things that I find so exciting about this festival is the possibility to see these perspectives from across the world as to what we mean by different urban situations, different urban problems, different urban realities, and incredible projects that are happening across the world. And whilst we appreciate both the incredible differences of circumstances, of course, across the world, different problems, different situations, but what's also very humbling is to really see that there are sort of core human values that this festival shares through the different films, and that and whilst again we are confronted by the difficulties of global situations that are more and more complicated, at the same time there is a sense of hope that comes from the films that we've seen through this range. So I in particular have been working as in the jury for the Resilient Communities strand of the festival, but also I've had the pleasure of seeing all the films across the strands and just really enjoying and feeling moved and thought, and really the feeling that all these films have been incredibly thought-provoking in their own ways. So thank you, Louisa, for inviting me again, and it's just wonderful to continue this collaboration.
Thank you, Jacek. You have perfectly described the richness of contents that we have in this third edition. In fact, as we were discussing before, I believe this third edition is more into human stories and human visions. So it's moving the urban dimension to the human dimension of people living in cities, and finding struggles and difficulties, or searching for hope, opportunities. There is also a sense of loneliness, but still this search for hope, which is clearly crossing through the three different categories. So in a way, it's like a journey into different urban contexts, into different human stories that all together embed this dimension which is related to the urban context, urban living, the urban experience, and how we as individuals share this common ground of values, being together in the city. So, I mean, it's quite unique perspective, I would say, for our festival to have such good contents, because the quality is really very high, and so
Absolutely.
productions are really into exploring, narrating, also confronting with all these challenging issues that we all live in our cities and societies. And so it takes a while, but I think that after watching maybe 1, 2, 3, 5 films, even someone that is not into this urban-minded approach can actually quite understand, this richness and this way of being into the urban dimension. So this is an invitation again to all those who are interested in our film festival to watch our short films, because the free streaming will be available till Sunday, December the 4th at midnight. And it is also possible to vote for your favorite film, and the most voted film will receive the Audience Award, and we will announce this Audience Award on Tuesday, December the 6th, in a short online ceremony. So also something that I mentioned during the opening ceremony, this year we are organizing a lot of in-presence events. So while we keep the free online streaming, we also organize in-presence events because we would like to actually meet our audience and also move from indoor spaces to outdoor public gatherings. This is also one of the main goals of the festival. It's difficult because the period, after COVID, there are still some kind of limitations, but we are making this effort, inviting people to the cinema and also to our public space museum. And before we start the award ceremony, the last information: next week, we starting from Tuesday until Sunday, we will have in-presence events at our public space museum, which is the creative and artistic headquarters of City Space Architecture. So if you are in Bologna, come visit, because every afternoon till late in the evening we will have activities, workshop, screenings, talks, and a lot of opportunities to continue the discussion on urban visions. Okay, so I see now we can start the award ceremony. I know that there are some authors and filmmakers that are already connected online, so I will give them the floor when the award of their film will be announced. So Jacek, I hope you are staying with us throughout the ceremony.
Of course.
Okay. Okay, so since we have 3 categories, I would like to start with the first category, which is a place, migrants, refugees, and displaced communities. For this category, we have 3 awards and 2 honorable mentions. So the first honorable mention goes to Waiting Working Hours by Ben de Raes in Belgium. You can read here the motivation from the jury. The film uses an innovative format, juxtaposition of the Google Maps street views in the city of Brussels with voices of interviewees, with the aim to reflect on the state of the city and everyday life of immigrant people. Leaving much to the imagination, the topic of discussion around the role of work for a decent life is dealt with a mature approach. It presents an original, cohesive, yet diverse narrative around precarious work and its relationship to urban life for migrants and refugees, with a careful and effective selection of dialogue and succession of interviews. So congratulations, this honorable mention will receive a certificate of excellence from our festival. The second honorable mention goes to Their Land, Our Home by Ryan Powell from United Kingdom. So you can read the motivation of the jury. A story of displacement in the informal settlement of Santa Filomena in Lisbon. The search for a place to inhabit is the condition of vulnerable communities found themselves homeless, with cranes destroying their memories and erasing their identity. The human attachment to the land is opposed to the process of urban renewal of the real estate market. We have the director, Ryan Powell, with us. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, hi. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Hi. Thank you so much. Yes, it's a pleasure to be part of your wonderful festival alongside so many other great films.
Thank you. Do you want to say something regarding your film?
Yes, sure. Yes. I mean, it was made several years ago now, but continues to be played fairly often in Lisbon. It continues to be a really sort of important issue in Lisbon. There's still, kind of a housing crisis going on. People are still being evicted from their homes, en masse in neighborhoods such as Santa Filomena, but also on, individual scale with, out suitable rehousing policies or settlements or compensation being given. So yeah, unfortunately, it continues to be a relevant film. And so, yeah, I'm pleased that people are able to see it on this platform as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining the ceremony.
Thank you.
So now we go to the third prize. Goes to Lily Alone by Zhu Jing, China. The film is a reflection of female struggles and ownership over one's own body, symbolism of the city and public space as a forbidden realm is strong. Difficulties of the protagonist's life are sharply constrained with beautiful city views seen from the large windows of the surrogacy residence. City is represented as the uneatable, polished outdoor world. The scene of the rooftop of the residence where one of the protagonists is singing to drive out the interior void effectively captures this threshold between public and private space and the hopes for freedom, effective narrative progression and storytelling. Congratulations. Second prize goes to Zafar by Aksa Altaf and John X. Carey from United States of America. A very effective portrait of the strife of immigrants closely tied to the theme of contemporary urban life. The film shows a rare empathetic view of modern delivery workers, carefully meshing the impersonal quality of digitized customer interaction with the intimately personal phone calls with the protagonist's mother halfway across the world. It communicates well the uprootedness and transposed quality of immigrant life, being physically in one place but socially in another, and cleverly contrasts crossing the city, the impersonal local context, with navigating intimate social ties overseas, the remote personal life. Congratulations. And then the first prize goes to Forbidden to Enter by Paul Bosk and Omar Al-Sawadi from Germany. An emotional journey into the condition of migrants and refugees on the Bosnian-Croatian border of the European Union. It powerfully depicts the aspiration for a better life coming from the voices of displaced individuals and communities living in extreme poverty, in derelict buildings, and desperately searching for hope. The sense of helplessness is opposed to the privilege granted to the protagonist, Omar, a Syrian refugee now living in Germany. Congratulations. You know that the first, second, and third prize will receive an award in cash, while honorable mentions will receive a certificate of excellence from our film festival. So it was, I know, a difficult choice for this category, and we work closely with members of the jury in order to, also find some coherence with the main theme, because when we started this category, migrants, refugees, and displaced communities, we wanted to depict the human condition of migrants and refugees and displaced communities without introducing any kind of judgment and without moving contents at the political level, because this is a very difficult topic. And our idea was only to describe the human condition of these vulnerable individuals and communities. And so our selection was following those criteria in order to provide information on the real conditions of people and all the struggles and difficulties at the human level that they are facing while trying to reach a better condition of life. So now we move to the second category, a place, resilient communities. Here we have the first prize and 2 honorable mentions. The first prize will receive an award in cash, and the honorable mentions will receive a certificate of excellence. So the first honorable mention goes to Holy Houses by Anna Fleur Schut from Netherlands. A great initiative of tolerance and solidarity among different communities, aiming at overcoming divisions and establishing a common ground of values, redefining the spatial identity of an extended public space through a network of building of worship. I think we have the director with us, Anna Fleur. Hello. You are muted. Now you are unmuted.
I'm unmuted. Sorry. Hi, thank you so much.
Hello.
This is so great to see. So yes, actually we made this movie a couple of months ago, and the Holy Houses project, I think it aligns very much with the things that were just said about searching for a home and your ideas about hope and loneliness. I think buildings, religious heritage sites offer so much for everyone, and for some reason we just stopped seeing these buildings as inclusive places. And I think we challenged people with this project to re-enter and to re-see and rediscover these buildings in a new way that's in fact inclusive. So that's what we tried to communicate, at least.
Yes, I think it describes very well what you just mentioned, your film. And it's also a very unique initiative, I would say, that comes from the municipality, right?
That's correct. Yes. So it was a collaboration with the municipality and this organization called the Kerkvernieuwers. So directly translated, it translates to the church renewers, something like this. Yes, and they had this joint initiative to invite people in from the municipality of Rotterdam, the inhabitants, to try to enter these buildings that they normally just pass by, and now they can discover them. And I think that worked very well. And we organized all different kind of social activities or cultural activities. And I think that's a really great combination. And actually what you see on the photo right now in the sheet is a church, and it is completely filled with artists that have their workspace there. So it was very interesting to see what these kind of spaces do with this work as well, because it just changes the way you see things. And it was very inspiring.
Thank you very much also for
Thank
being
you.
with us during the award ceremony.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
So now we move to the second honorable mention that goes to The Lions Are Not for Sale by Sergio Osvaldo Valdes, Mexico. The film's narrative succinctly conveys the contemporary challenges of people's resistance to preserve a historical garden in response of urban development in the Mexican city of Monterrey. It depicts the desire for diversity in the built form and the recognition of the importance of biodiversity within our cities, an excellent example of environmental and cultural resilience within a community. Congratulations. So it's nice that we have different stories of resilience from Mexico and from the Netherlands. And now also from the winner, the first prize, from India, The Silent Echo by Suman Sen, a visually stunning and unique representation of independence of a small group of children to freely roam and play in their own area, a freedom that is now curtailed for many children. Despite the setbacks the children faced in the city, a foreign urban context, they continue to do what they love, illustrating their resilience, yet a deep sadness for an uncertain future. So I think, Jacek, there was an unanimous agreement on this first prize. Do you want to say something, since this is the category that you evaluated?
Definitely. And also just to say equally, just another huge well done to the honorable mentions that we've just seen. Really, really powerful films. This particular film, The Silent Echo, really does bring an incredible level of cinematography together with the powerful depiction of the protagonists. And there is a really interesting dimension between the intimacy of the human lived experience, together with, in contrast to different environments, in particular the contrast between this a natural environment that is beautifully depicted in the film, but as well as an urban environment that can be quite hostile. And so I think because it's also seen through the lens of the protagonist, who was also very young, there is something very, very poignant about this piece, and it really has this incredible combination of being both very thought-provoking, but also very, very moving and just beautifully filmed as well. So really well done to the makers of this film.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Jacek. It's really also in terms of landscape photography, and also very, very nostalgic in a way. Yes, and sad at the same time, but still embedding this sense of hope.
Absolutely.
That comes from the voices of children. So it's really...
And quite literally from their voice. That's the other thing that really struck me, was the depiction of voice as a way to freedom and also to heritage. Yeah, really, really interesting.
We have a message from the director that unfortunately could not be with us during the ceremony, but he sent this message. Oh. Sorry. It seems that it is not going well. Let me try again. it seems that it's not working. I don't know why. It's such a pity because we had the chance to screen their messages. It was working before, but I don't know why it's not. Let me just a second. That I'm trying again. No, it's not working. It's such a pity, right? Yeah. Sorry for that. So we try also to see if some other comments from authors can be delivered, because we had actually 3 different videos that we wanted to show. But let's continue with the awards. Okay, so we move now to the main category, which is urban visions. You know that we, for this main category, we have the first prize, which is an award in cash. And then we have several honorable mentions that are related to subcategories that we have included in this main one in order to provide the different perspectives, as we were saying before. So we have contemporary urban challenges, portrait of cities, living the urban, and performing the urban. So we start with the first honorable mention, which is for contemporary challenges, which is ex aequo with another one. The first one is Warsha by Dania Bdeir from Lebanon. A powerful portrait of freedom framed in the beautiful skyline of Beirut. Enchanting, colorful, and highly imaginative, Warsha is a celebration of the need of self-expression. We have a message. Let's see if we can if we can show the message now. Let's see. Again, it's not showing. Let me try to
Hi everyone, my name is Dania Bdeir. I'm the writer-director of Warsha. This is the main actor, Khansa. We hope you enjoy the film. We wish we could have been there with you. If you like it, or if you'd like to talk about it, please follow us on Instagram at Warsha Short Film. Thank you.
Great. You managed.
Yes, I managed to show the message from the author of Warsha from Lebanon, so Dania Bdeir. So I'm trying again to show the previous message from the winner of the A Place Resilient Communities category, Shuman Shen. Let me try again, because I don't want to miss this opportunity.
Hi everyone, this is Shuman Shen. I'm so happy to share my debut short film, The Silent Echo, with all of you. We have put our heart and soul behind this film and shot the film in Nepal. And it's a very heartwarming tale of 4 indigenous kids. We had a really nice time working in this film, and I hope you enjoy and we can share the same love with all of you. Thank you.
Great.
Yes, it's really, you know, as I said, a journey across different countries and different perspectives and understanding of the urban environment. Sorry for this technical problem, but we managed to resume also the message from Shuman Shen. Now we continue with the other honorable mention for the contemporary urban challenges subcategory of urban visions, which is ex aequo. Again, this one, Warsha and Roy, by Tom Berkeley and Ross White from the United Kingdom. Roy is about an elderly and lonely British man who finds a platonic relationship over the phone with a woman working at a phone sex company. The film takes place entirely inside Roy's house, depicting this sense of loneliness and the need to interact with others, while providing a rich insight into the importance of the home space. It is an exceptional film which holds a strong narrative. I think we have a message from the two authors. I'm trying to upload the message. Give me a second.
Hello, my name's Tom Barkley.
And my name is Ross White.
And we're the co-writer directors of the short film Roy. So Roy tells the story of a man struggling to come to terms with life as a widower following the death of his wife. And Roy has taken to cold calling strangers from the phone book in a sort of attempt to have brief moments of companionship and conversation, but he's very rarely being successful. And then when he accidentally dials the number for an adult hotline, he ends up developing an unlikely friendship with the young woman at the end of the phone.
It's a tale about human connection in an increasingly disconnected world, and it's sort of this story of a friendship that blossoms in the most unlikely of places. Thank you so much for watching the film. We really hope you enjoy it.
So really was, this is a very nice story, as the authors said, of, loneliness, but again, with this sense of hope that things can change for the better. Now we move to the other subcategory, which is portraits of cities. And the honorable mention goes to The Urban Suite by Forrest Jan Etzler and Sebastian Simon from South Korea. The Urban Suite tracks the process of destruction and reconstruction within the residential district of Gyeongdong, Seoul. It focuses on the passage of time through the lens of place and the effects that the change within the district has on the inhabitants on Gyeongdong. Visually, the film offers a powerful narrative which effectively showcases the juxtaposition of old and new. The visual component of the film is effectively supported by a poetic monologue by the filmmaker, which discusses the benefits of modernization and sympathetically analyzes those that hold the burden of it. Congratulations. I think we have one of the directors, Sebastian. Hi. You are muted.
Yes. Hi.
Hello.
Wow. Good evening. Here it's evening in it's nighttime in Korea. Look, thank you very much. I mean, well, I'm the only one here. I think Forrest is in Seoul. I live in another city now, but in Korea. But I don't know if he joined or if he could join. But if I'm the only one representing the film, I thank you from both of us. I have to admit, it's for a movie that I made that we made. Was it 9 years ago or 8 years ago? It's it's not really a movie that I terribly expect to be screened anymore. So it was super nice to be selected, plus now to have an honorable mention. But especially for a movie that if I remember correctly, that we completely improvised, and we're very, very much location scouting somehow, but also filming at the same time. So why not turn this into its own little video? And that's why also it's so segmented. You've seen it, so you would know what I described. But so yeah, several years afterwards to be here and discussing it, it's almost a bit unreal. I'll just say, like, the situation that is presented in the film, or it happens, in many cities, in many countries, but in Korea it's very much it's a very usual occurrence. That specific district, Gyeonam-dong, it's gone now, of course, since then, but it's been rebuilt into a fancier, bigger habitation buildings, I suppose. But the following year they probably did the same for the next block, and then the next block, and the next block, and same in other cities. And in the city where I live here now, in Busan, in Korea, the city is called Busan. It's been happening similarly, and I made another film about pretty much the same the same situation, but specific to here. And so it happens, I suppose. So renovation is not really the usual way to do. It's more like destroy, rebuild.
Yes.
It's nicer, it's fancier, it's probably more expensive, but it's how it's done here. So cities change so much, and people who come here, who have been here in the past or who left and come back, essentially don't recognize the city. Very, very, and for some people, I guess it can be very dramatic. For us foreigners here, it's sort of an intellectually an interesting thing that happened that we may or may not agree with. But for people who live here, it can be rather profound and traumatic sometimes, I guess. So yeah, I mean, thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for submitting your film.
Very powerful, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
So we move to the other honorable mention for Living the Urban. This one is ex aequo as well. It's for Fiori, Flowers, by Christian Xipolias from Italy. Fiori is a human-centered portrait of the current transformation and increase of delivery services among all cities. The plot succeeds in displaying multiple aspects of a simple delivery man with much sensitivity and empathy. The story offers multiple layers of urban complexity in a clear narrative. And the other honorable mention for Living the Urban is Magma by Arthur Fanget from France. A striking portrait of the aspirations of a young guy living in the suburbs, obsessed by sex and social media and searching for personal success. It is a vivid story of solitude and incapability of finding a proper space in the society, trapped in an overpowering social and urban decay. We have with us Arthur. Hi.
Hello. Oh, you're muted.
You are muted.
Damn, I was like, I'm not gonna make the same mistake as other. So hey, I'm Arthur. I'm the director of Magma. Thank you so much for getting us here. I'm really, really honored, and I'd like to say again, thank you. It's just a pleasure to have a festival that can let us showcase our works. Everybody is making, giving so much heart and so much works in those pieces, and it's so great to be showcased somewhere, and that we can share our works and the time that we put in to people to enjoy it. So thank you about that. My English isn't that great, so I'm not gonna last long, but I just want to say that that movie was shot during COVID, and that totally echoed what you said about loneliness in the city, and particularly at that time of pandemic. And so it was pretty awesome to see that most of the movie that we showcase were in the same line, that city can be harsh sometimes on people about loneliness, and that through that human being can still find a way to connect by, for my character, is by sex and social media, but that can be by in several ways. And I find it awesome that people can still find a way to overcome what the harshest of city can be sometimes. So it's all about humanity, and thank you for letting us showcase our works. It's so great to have to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we move to the last honorable mention for Performing the Urban, St. Louis on the Move by Kita Bauchet from Belgium. A lyrical and engaging experience of many public spaces and public life. The film explores a space through movement and dance and highlights where a community comes together while showing the in-between spaces. Wonderful performance and tempo. This is a nice category that we had since the very beginning, the Performing the Urban. We received the work of different artists performing in public space. The majority of them are dancing. So I think this is very interesting for you, Jacek.
Absolutely. Because there is this really interesting link between what we mean by performance. And performance, of course, can be, the definition of the word performance can really take all sorts of really broad connotations. But I think what's emerging more and more, both in performance practice and studies, as well as in broader debates within urbanism, is this idea that actually a city performs itself. You know, there's so this idea of performing really is quintessential to it. But also, of course, in this case, we've got the further layer of artistic interpretation through performance, as recorded in these films, and what a wonderful range this was.
Yes, well, absolutely. It's very, energetic to see all these, positive ways of, appropriating also the space through creative practices and dancing also. With music, it's really nice, and I like also the fact that the filmmakers found our festival as a nice venue for this kind of products to describe the richness and beauty of the urban context.
Definitely.
And so now we are going to the winner of this third edition of the Urban Visions Film Festival, which is The Silent Whistle by Ying-Tong Li from China. The film showcases in a subtle way the loneliness, again, we are talking about loneliness, of today's cities, focusing on one housing block and its semi-public spaces. Beautiful, engaging, and unpredictable storyline which touches multiple societal issues. We have a message from the author, from Ying-Tong.
Hi, I'm Ying-Tong Li. I'm the writer and director of the short film The Silent Whistle. Unfortunately, I'm right now in China, so I cannot attend the festival in person. But I really appreciated that The Silent Whistle got an opportunity to screening in Urban Visuals. For me, The Silent Whistle is a very personal and deep film. I hope you can enjoy it. Thank you very much.
So That's the end of this award ceremony. Congratulations to all the winners. We will stay in touch for the awards and the certificate that will follow right after, this ceremony. I would like to thank Jacek and all the members of the jury, but also to thank all the amazing filmmakers that are constantly, appreciating our festival and submitting their work. We really value your work and your interest in discovering complexities of the contemporary city and of the contemporary society, and to help us describing to the general audience what being urban-minded means, because I think these contents can be used for many different purposes, also for educational purposes, because I believe that it is important that we reach a very large audience and that we discuss all these different topics that we are collecting through all these different amazing works that are coming from many different countries. Also to explain what is the work that individuals and communities are doing to create better opportunities, to create that path for better conditions, searching for that hope which makes us feeling better together. This was the hope also during the pandemic, to come together again. But the world is putting in front of us a lot of challenges and a lot of issues. And so I think also for new generations, it is very important that through this festival, we provide a rich, diverse, sometimes hard picture of what to expect from our world. What do you think, Jacek?
Absolutely, Louisa. There's so much that this festivals like this do, and exactly as you said, this really testifies the power of creative language such as filmmaking in really bringing a new dimension to these important narratives that we discuss. We can spend so much discussing in conferences, in other kind of formal situations, but there is so little, there is so much that instead, through, for instance, the language of film, we can not only communicate the reality of a situation, but most importantly, we can do it in a way that can be so compelling, that can really aid to the impact of what we're trying to do. And so my advice for all the makers that have been involved in this festival is to absolutely keep going and continue to create this wonderful work that you're doing. Because it's important, and because it really is the way in which we can truly develop as a society. So thanks again for involving me in this, and most importantly, again, as you said, Louisa, thanks to the wonderful filmmakers that have so generously submitted their work and shared with us their way of seeing the world.
Yes, we hope to have same quality and same inspiring films for the 4th edition of the festival that will take place next year. We will announce it probably in the summer 2023. So now, for those of you that are in Bologna, we are meeting tonight at 9 p.m. at Nuovo Cinema Nosadella to the In Presence award ceremony and for the screening of the winners of the 3 categories. again, we are online, but we also want to meet our audience in presence at the cinema, since also the emotional experience of watching these films is much better in the cinema setting, because it really arrives at the heart of each individual sitting in the cinema space. So thanks again, and hope to continue this journey through the urban visions. You know that I'm really very much I'm very passionate about this project, and I really hope that we can continue, not just during the days of the festival, to talk about complexity of the contemporary city and society with screenplayers, authors, actors, and directors, but also throughout the years. So we are now trying to set a strategy in order to have an ongoing urban vision project and initiative, which can culminate every year with a 3-4 day festival. But we would like to expand, activity and presence across different audiences, as I said, also for educational purposes. So stay tuned for more, and meanwhile, enjoy the free streaming until Sunday, 4th of December, midnight, Central European Time. Thank you again, and see you soon.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.